So it happened that one young man, like any other, in times of great desperation, turned to an older, wiser man for advice. On the outskirts of a sleepy village, far removed from the everyday hustle and bustle of modern life, he knocked on the wise man's front door, and the wise man answered with a question. "Why have you come here, my son?" "My life is nothing like the life I want to lead," the young man told him. "I know I'm capable of so much more, but I can't figure out how to get to where I want to go." "And where is it you're trying to get to?" "I don't know. I just know that I have so much potential inside of me, and it haunts me every day that I'm failing to live up to it. No matter how hard I push myself, I can't seem to keep up with all my tasks. I never have any time, and I engage in behaviors I don't like." The wise man smiled, bowed his head, and bade the man join him inside. "Come in, my son. Share some tea with me." Together they sat in his living room, sharing a pot of tea, the young man eagerly listening to his advice. "You're not the first and won't be the last to express such sentiments," the wise man began. "Today's world is so full of noise that we owe it to ourselves to take time out. Only then might we return to ourselves in stillness and silence. When it comes to changing our lives, we must first have a clear idea of the values driving us and the goals we're headed towards. Of course, we cannot know every minute detail, for we must never underestimate life's ability to surprise us, or our own ability to change direction the more we learn about ourselves. But the clearer an image we have of the life we're working towards, the better. After all, it's all well and good shooting arrows all day, but without a known target, how can we measure the quality of our technique? You mentioned how hard you push yourself, so your perceived failures are not due to a lack of effort. Perhaps instead you are simply putting your effort in all the wrong places." The young man leaned forward. "But how can I be sure I'm putting my effort in the right places?" "In order to strengthen our aim and ensure we hit our targets, we must first build a strong foundation. You must be disciplined enough to create a healthy routine that ensures your body and mind are working together as a cohesive unit. If you're not aligned in this way, it doesn't matter how much effort you put into anything. You'll only succeed in burning yourself out. So where do I begin?" "You begin with the basics, and one of those basics is good sleep. The quality of our lives awake is directly proportional to the quality of our lives asleep. Sleep supports healthy brain function, as well as our physical health. It supports our immune systems, our circulatory and respiratory systems too, as well as promoting testosterone production. It affects how well you're able to think, concentrate, work, learn, and grow. When our sleep is interrupted or impaired, we run the risk of developing chronic diseases and mental disorders. We are less resilient and more prone to emotional instability. In sleep, we are also restored through our dreams. Not only do they process the day's events, but they are also unparalleled innovators of creativity. Just think of all the revolutionary ideas that have occurred because of this dream machinery behind the scenes. It's not for nothing that Einstein directly credits his theory of relativity to his dreams. Dreams also help our ability to make decisions in our waking life. There's a reason we tell each other to sleep on it when it comes to any big decision. A good night's sleep leaves us feeling refreshed and clear-headed, able to make choices today that seemed impossible yesterday. You must then find a sleeping pattern that works for you as an individual. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to sleep, but it's helpful to everyone to go to bed around the same time each night and wake up at the same hour each morning. Now tell me something. Do you take your phone with you to bed?" "Sometimes," the young man sheepishly admitted. "Then you are only making the task more difficult. You are flooding your brain with bright light, in essence telling your brain it's time to wake and be active. Make a promise to yourself not to look at your phone before bed, and not to look at it first thing in the morning. If you can do that, you'll already be miles ahead of everyone else. You see, we live in a world of endless distractions and dangerously shortened attention spans. People are addicted to technology and content. A huge number are consumers rather than creators. Is it your desire to join them in that?" "Not at all. I want to create, not consume." "Then you must make the necessary changes. You cannot rely on willpower alone. Turn off your phone and place it in another room when you work. The same goes for anything else that might distract you. Create and maintain the environment that promotes your highest productivity. Don't self-sabotage by surrounding yourself with temptations. And speaking of temptations, I must ask you a personal question. Do you consume pornography?" The man hung his head in shame. "Sometimes." "Shaming yourself does nothing but debilitate your strength, my son. There's nothing wrong with sexual gratification, but for many users, masturbating to pornography is actually a method of dealing with unwanted emotions rather than true self-pleasure. Excessive use messes with our dopamine levels, which can cause depressive symptoms, poor impulse control, as well as addictive behavior, all of which often create a vicious cycle of dependency from which we struggle to escape. It can also impair our sexual function, leading to problems like erectile dysfunction or decreased sensitivity in a real-life sexual encounter. Understand that so many are using porn as a proxy for actually getting out into the world and creating a real and healthy connection. That small voice of guilt inside you speaks so loudly because somewhere, deep down, you know you are capable of nurturing an intimate relationship. So why postpone yourself? I know exactly why, the young man replied. It's the fear of getting hurt, the fear of rejection. Ah, but all such fears unite mankind. There's no way around them. But the alternative of holding back so as never to face the fear, this is a far worse fate. But how to overcome such behaviors? Your body and mind are a temple, and you are their caretaker. Start each day with this in mind. This means meditating after waking and exercising the body. You are clearing space in your mind. You are building muscle mass in your body. The two together prime you for peak performance. After your exercise, you can also take a cold shower. Even better, after your shower, why not treat yourself to some nice toiletries? Permitting ourselves these small luxuries helps foster a deeper sense of self-reverence and love. Myself, I use Tiege skincare products. Tiege skincare? Haven't you heard of them? They've developed a range of skincare products designed for regular guys, affordable and uncomplicated, specially formulated to improve and enhance men's skin. They do all the hard work for men, even providing them with tailored skincare routines, while also donating a share of their profits to fighting skin cancer. Make sure to check them out using the link in the bio. The link in the bio? What are you talking about? Don't worry about it. Let us return to our foundations. Meditation, exercise, good sleep, and limited tech use. Once you have these in place, you can work on reaching your potential. Meditation deepens our journey inward and brings us to a heightened sense of who we really are and what we actually want. Couple this practice with daily journaling, and you'll be creating a constant dialogue with yourself, further refining an understanding of your life path. When we have this framework in place, we are better informed to take appropriate and right action. What do you mean by right action? I mean any action that has conscious intention behind it. We know why we are doing it. In other words, we are aiming at our target, not blindly firing. So many are engaged in behaviors that don't serve them. On the same note, we often procrastinate because of deeper fears or uncertainty driving us, or simply because we don't have a clue what to do. But where we start taking informed and consistent actions on a daily basis, we breed self-confidence. We instill our lives with meaning and purpose. From there, it's only natural that we develop a sense that we are contributing something of worth to the world. Being of service to the world in this way fosters an expansive energy in our being, one that lends itself to abundance over scarcity. What do you mean by abundance over scarcity? A lot of men operate in a survival mode, while others thrive. Why do you think that is? Well, when we're thriving, we don't believe there's anything holding us back, the young man explained. But when we're only surviving, all we see is restriction and lack. Precisely! Scarcity versus abundance. Now, to be clear, this is not to say that there aren't constraints in life. On the contrary, life will deal obstacles and hurdles to us in spades. It takes a certain mindset, a mindset of growth, to realize that these supposed hardships of life are actually lessons in disguise. Life wants us to succeed, and it will bring to us all the necessary challenges to overcome in order to realize our dreams. That's brilliant. I like this way of looking at it. Our perspective is everything, my son. Never forget that. And on that note, if there's one last thing I can give you, it's this. The way we look at the world is directly informed by our internal monologue. Monitor it closely. Do you speak to yourself kindly or cruelly? If you're not sure, consider this. Ask yourself, would I speak to a close friend or a loved one the same way I do with myself? If the answer is no, that signifies some changes can be made. As always, it's an ongoing process. Some days will be easier than others. And it's the journey of a lifetime learning to unlearn, replacing less advantageous habits with more beneficial ones. But with consistency and discipline, I have every faith you'll make it. You're right. I have every faith too. The young man bowed his head in respect. "Thank you for your time." With that, the young man left the wise man's house, renewed with a determination to change. Here at Wise Clarity, we know every man is capable of transformation and changing their lives for the better. It's a mission we're dedicated to, spreading positivity, education, and content on self-improvement for men. If you enjoyed this video and wish to see more, please do subscribe, like, and share a comment below. We'll see you next time.